and the Lord is there. So the reason why it didn't show no temple or a building in Revelation 21, I'm convinced is because when you are in the presence of the Father, there is truly no more holy place than in their presence. So don't worry about some building as the place you gotta go. Just come to the city. God is there. And in his vision in Revelation, he wasn't shown a temple on purpose. That don't mean there was no buildings or a building in the place. But the Father and the Son are the holy place, which is called the first tabernacle, the second tabernacle, all of this stuff. So this is why I'm saying they are the same place, but don't get confused in it saying there is no temple there. It's trying to show you that the Father and the Son are the temple of it, point blank period. They are the holy place. That is where everyone is going there, not to see a building in Ezekiel 47. Everyone is going there to come into the presence of God and to understand his ways. And the nations are to be brought back to his wisdom. That's what it's all about. That's the temple you going to. The Father and the Son. Not some literal building. Even though in Ezekiel he showed a place where he's going to establish an altar and sacrifice and stuff again. But that's not the true holy place. The true holy place is him. And this building was a representation of his presence among the people. That's what all the tabernacles always symbolized. It always symbolized the presence of God among the people. But maybe that's not enough. And I'm not going to argue somebody down. I'm just telling you how I see it. Go to verse 23 and 27. Revelation 21, verse 23 and 27.
And the city had no need of the sun, neither the moon, to shine in it. For the glory of God did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. Mm-hmm. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there.
Right, there shall be no night there.
There shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory of and the honor of the nation into it. And there shall be in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
Okay, so the city had no need of the sun or the moon. Let us go right over to chapter 22. Same book, chapter 22, and read verse 5.
And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for the Lord God giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. Okay, once again, establishing it. He established it 2 or 3 times in his vision. Let us go now to Zechariah 14. Zechariah 14. And we're not going to read the whole chapter. You can read it on your own time. You know about this war. This is where it talks about the Most High coming down on the Mount of Olives, on the Mount of Olives, and doing destruction, right? Mm-hmm. Now, as he does this, look at what it says at verse 6 and 7. Zechariah 14, verse 6 and verse 7. So the Lord whoops the nations into submission, and look at what it says here. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord
14,
God.
Verse 6 and 7. Zechariah 14, verse 6 and 7.
I'm sorry, Zechariah 14, I'm sorry.
This is real interesting to me. This is just, through studying and looking at things.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark, but it shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord, not day nor night. But it shall come to pass at that evening time, it shall be light.
So you ain't gonna have no clue of what's going on, because when you think it should be nighttime, it's day. It's just always light. And this day starts when the Most High comes to the earth and he takes Jerusalem back from the nations that have control of it right now. This day is not a 24-hour period. This day is the time of the Lord. In this day is the Lord going to do all of this. So when you see this New Jerusalem and no day or night there, and you see it established, this and that, this day known to the Lord, how long is it? It's just, don't put no time on how long it is. You understand? Mm-hmm. Don't try to put a time frame on the day. And this is going on in Jerusalem. Where the Mount of Olives at that he coming down on? Where is that at? That's outside Jerusalem, right? Oh, okay. So once again, he's not talking about this being the whole earth that has no day or night. Just Jerusalem. Once he get there, that's just how it is until. Now, let us go over to Isaiah chapter 60 again, and let's read verses 19 to 21. See, this is what I'm talking about. The angel said the prophets explained the mystery of God, and it's going to be finished the way that they spoke it. So whatever John is seeing, I believe that there would be at least one more prophet that had similar visions to establish that John did not make up what we call revelations. Mm-hmm. Because I never seen it work like that anywhere in the prophets. Anything a prophet was shown, there's another prophet to corroborate that prophet.
That's right.
And I'm not saying John not being corroborated. He told everything how it was shown to him. But people are making up, in my opinion, what this stuff mean. And they're not showing you in the prophets these things. Go ahead. Isaiah 60 verses 19 through 21.
The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for the brightness shall the moon give light unto thee, but the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy God thy glory. The sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself, for the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended.
This is too
thy
funny.
people also shall be all righteous.
Who? How many of the people?
Thy people also shall be all righteous.
Okay, continue.
They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified.
You know why all her people going to be righteous? Because if a sinner do pop up, you dying. You dying. That's why earlier in Isaiah 65, or later in Isaiah 65, he say, look, same thing he described it. He say, man, ain't gonna be no infinite days nor old man that don't feel his days. And the sinner dying 100 shall be accursed. Everybody gonna be righteous, because if you pop up and try to be unrighteous, you getting taken out. That's new. See, when Satan popped up and did what he did, the Most High never destroyed Satan forever. Even though he did, I mean, as far as his plan, like it's over for Satan. But if me and you talking about Satan right now, then he present now. You know, still free to wreak his havoc. But the Most High in this day, known to the Lord, oh, somebody pop up with sin, I'm chopping head immediately, according to the pattern that I showed Moses. I get rid of stuff immediately. He was showing Moses, and through the example of Moses and the children of Israel, he was showing that, look, Israel, when my kingdom is established in this earth, sin will not be tolerated. It will be wiped out as soon as it's heard about. And what does that do? It keeps everybody what? Righteous. So all her people shall be righteous. It's not a contradiction, because Isaiah gonna write 5 chapters later, or what we call 5 chapters later. I believe he was still writing a vision. Yo, man pop up sinning, he 100, he just gonna be killed off. He done. It match to me as far as I can see. But we seen that it said your sun will not go down in your moon. Excuse me. Is this a doctrine now teaching that there's going to be 2 moons and 2 suns? Because Jerusalem got her own sun and her own moon, and they don't go down or come up. No. The sun and the moon is there, but over her particularly, their light will not penetrate that greater light of the Most High. The rest of the nations of the earth will see that and will still have to do what? Like he said in the end of Zechariah. I didn't read all of Zechariah. I didn't read all of Isaiah 65, but he say stuff like, yeah, the nations going to have to come up to keep tabernacles. Ain't they? So that means all the nations going to have to understand when God teach them how to really understand hit the moon and the sun. Because they're going to have to be in Jerusalem on time for tabernacles, ain't they?
Yeah.
If China coming up, Egypt, Egypt is close by. It's hundreds of miles away. But Egypt not going to enjoy the same light that Jerusalem enjoys. Egypt still going to look at the sun and the moon and say, the new moon is approaching and the time of tabernacles is coming. And y'all know it's written in Zechariah 14. He put our name in it. If we don't show up, we don't get no rain. So the earth has sun and the moon, like we got now. But in Jerusalem, it don't matter. Is that understood? All right. It's lining up with that city. In Revelation 21. I'm convinced of it. Go to Psalm 121. Psalm 121. And when you get there, bro, we're going to read verses 4 through 8. Psalm 121, verses 4 through 8. Look at what the sweet psalmist wrote.
I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My
Psalm
help. 121?
Yeah, verses start at verse 4.
Oh, it's at 4. Okay. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
So here we have the Lord who is the keeper of Israel, right?
Yeah.
And the sun shall not smite Israel by day, nor the moon by night. And the Lord will preserve Israel from all evil. And he shall preserve the soul of his nation. And this shall be forevermore. This is the same thing we seen in Revelation 21. I still haven't yet seen where this don't have nothing to do with Jesus establishing the kingdom. And this, it's just it's too much. It's too much to hear that other jibber jabber because it don't make sense to me. That's all. It just don't make sense to me, y'all. Let's go to back to Revelation now, 22. We read verse 5, right? So I'm just establishing. So in Isaiah and in Ezekiel and in Zechariah, have someone tell you what all of that is and have them separate Jesus and the Father in the midst of all as they explain it to you. Show us in the prophets where the separation of the Father and the Son come. And the Father left up in heaven somewhere alone while Christ and all the hosts of heaven have came to the earth to rule it for 1,000 years. Show us where show me one place in the prophets where he who known as the Father is left behind. You know one thing about the Old Testament, you know one reason why people who don't deal with the New Testament don't deal with it? Because everything that's being said about Christ applies to who they know as Yah in the Old Testament. And they like, look, he's saying he Yah. Because all these things is written about Yah. But yet we say Yah is the Father. So if Yah is the Father, and this is his Son who come from the Father, how is he taking place of his Father, saying he did the things of the Father, but saying he the Son? They are one. They never separated themselves. Don't get caught up in the fact that there was a body prepared and he had his spirit inhabited to show us his express image of what man is going to be.
Right.
Don't get caught up in that. But they never separated themselves. When he said, put me back to the glory I had with you before the world was, it all is going how it's supposed to go. A son can rule a kingdom and his father sit there because they agreement his son. I ain't going to judge nobody. You go ahead and you judge. You do all the judgment. But everywhere in the Old Testament, who is doing the judging? God. But the Father judges no man. He don't put all judgment to the hand of the Son. Father sit right there, like, don't look at me. You gotta deal with my son.